ask these questions. It's very important that you know, like, what questions to ask, right? What questions am I supposed to? Well, yeah, how much is it going to cost me? That's one. What are contingencies? What should I be looking for in an HOA document? Let's get into it real quick. All right, buying a home. This is from Realty Times. Link is in my blog. Come and take a look. Can you have a copy of the home sales history? Absolutely. Everybody should be asking that question. And it's important to understand why that house is being sold multiple times, right? Could be a funky stink inside there that all this buyers can't figure it out. Could be shitty neighbors. Could be, oh, I don't know, built on a ancient burial mound. Yeah, you never know. But that is one key indicator, a possible red flag for that home. What's the cost of the monthly and annual utility maintenance? That's a great question. Especially if you have solar, you're going to have the lease. If it's leased, you're going to have true ups at the end of the year. You're going to have all these extra costs that you don't know about until you actually dig into it. When I sell a house with solar on it, I ask for the last 12 months, PG&E bills and the solar bills so that we know what's going on, as well as the water and the electricity and the gas and the internet, that kind of thing, so that people know how much it's going to cost. You just take all those numbers and average it up, and that's your monthly cost. And if you have solar costs you, unless you're off the grid. Okay, how much is the property tax? Now, it's important to understand property tax is based on, the current property tax is based on what they paid 5 years ago, 50 years ago. So it's an important question to ask, but understand if I paid X amount of dollars, I don't know, $2.4 million, what is my property tax going to be at this? Because when you close, the tax assessor will take a couple months to catch up for that sale and then reassess you at the new cost, at the new price. So understand what that is, right? That's the property tax. Does the house have an unusual history, or has it been involved in any crime? That's actually disclosures rules 101. One of the first houses I ever sold, there was a break-in, and the suspect, the burglar, broke a window, jumped in through the window, cut himself, and he bled all over the house, all over the walls, all over the floors. And the sellers are asking me, should we disclose that? I'm like, yeah, absolutely. That was the only crime. They lived there for like 25 years, and every area has their crime. So don't go all freaking out about any kind of crime or what have you. When was the roof last fixed or replaced? It's very important. Roofs do have a life cycle, and it might be a 20-year roof. And if it's at 20 years, it's at the end of the life cycle. You might be able to push it for another 5 years, maybe 10 if you're lucky. Same thing with water heaters, etc. But for the most part, roofs are very important. And if it's at the end of the life cycle and the seller hasn't replaced it, you're going to get stuck with it. Does the area around the property come with parking restrictions? That's if you're in an HOA, or if you're in a crowded neighborhood, or what have you. So yeah, absolutely. That's a great question. Are there ongoing warranties for the kitchen appliances, garage door, or HVAC system, and other things? That's an excellent question, because if they just changed out the HVAC and the refrigerator, there's a 1-year warranty on it. But you should also understand that typically, especially in California, the buyers get a 1-year home warranty from the sellers just to cover those little things. And if you're not handy, you don't know how to fix little tiny doodads and hoo-ha inside of appliances, I would suggest you get a house warranty. They suck, they're hard to deal with, but at least you don't have to fix, at least for the first couple of years. And then you know where the house is and how appliances are going to work well and which ones don't. And then you can make a determination after that. Are there renovations or additions made by the past or current owners? That's in disclosures. That has to be in disclosures. And by the way, a good buyer's agent, if you're a good buyer's agent, will do the due diligence for you and present you with all the permits that were ever pulled on that property. If your buyer's agent isn't doing that, they're not worth a lick. Are there any issues with sewage or broken pipes? That's hugely important. Yesterday, we talked about the HO and how the cities are requiring the HOAs to take on the infrastructure, including sewer or broken pipes, not inside the house, outside of the house. If it's outside, typically belongs to you until it hits about the curb. From that point on, it belongs to the city or the county or what have you. And if you know about sewage or broken pipes, that's also a disclosure issue. If you've had it repaired, it's supposed to be done by a licensed plumber, blah, blah, blah. You're allowed to fix it yourself. And if you do fix it yourself as a seller, you should disclose it. Are there past current pest infestations? Yep, bats. And I love the bats. I love having the bats. I think they're fantastic because they keep the insect population down. And while they do poop here and there, it's a nuisance I'm willing to put up with. Some buyers, some people just don't want to deal with it, right? At least I don't have to worry about, oh, I don't know, mosquitoes and a bunch of flies everywhere. Bats love them. They take care of that for me, and I'm okay with that. But the other infestations could be termites, could be, I don't know, a skunk or a raccoon living underneath your house, or a couple squirrels, that kind of stuff. It's important to know because it could upset your foundation. It could be that they're tearing a hole in your HVAC vents. So it's good to know about that. But also, we put the inspection in the disclosures ahead of time so that you know what you're buying. All right, well, that's it for now. Are there any other questions that I missed? Let me know. Yep. Oh, here we go. Homes.com. I just signed on to homes.com and I'm loving it because it's really great value for all my home sellers, because we are pushing their ads out, their home listing out to thousands of would-be buyers. When it comes up to the search, it shows here, highlighted right here, and your home is presented as the top one, as a featured ad on homes.com. And I think it's fantastic. I'm not a fan of Zillow because the agents that they work in are forced to work within their little ecosystem, meaning that they're going to force their buyer to work with their Zillow lender and their Zillow title and their Zillow whoever. Homes.com doesn't do that, which I like. And they spend billions of dollars on advertising. They're going to be on the Super Bowl, right? Love it. My ad's not going to be on the Super Bowl. That would be awesome, but it is what it is. So something to keep in mind when you're choosing agents, make sure that they're one that has Matterport with the 360 thing, and that they put the floor plan in and they can show you specifically where the ads are being placed. It's important. It's hugely important. Okay. Decatur Road, $22 million, 10 bedroom, 8.5 bath. This is the Los Gatos home of the week. Talked about it yesterday. This is the highest new home in the entire Santa Clara County. It's 1.38 acres, 15,000 square feet. Yep, beautiful. The only problem I have with this is that 149 pictures, and I think that's 143 pictures. Way too much. Way too much. If you want to do that, pepper that inside your website, but there's absolutely no reason to put more than 50 pictures on a listing, because you're going to bore the hell out of your would-be buyers. This is exactly where it is. Not exactly walking distance to downtown Los Gatos, Santa Cruz Ave, but it's close enough. All right, that again. All right, highs and lows of the week. Here we go. All right, I don't think I have this set up right. No, I'm on video. All right, what the heck? What is that? No, it's the most expensive house sold in Santa Clara County is Hammond Way up in Cupertino, up in the fire zone. 0 days on market. Not sure why I did that. Took 0 days to sell. 5.7, sold for 6.5. Good for them. That's how to be a market maker and attracting the market. This one is the lowest lowest sold price in, dang, this is a great price. This is under $800,000 for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. I sold a house just like this a couple years ago, right over here. And the reason, this is where the that's where the airport is. I sold it. It's right here. So this is a great buy. I sold it, my listing, for like 860, 875. So only one picture. So can't tell you if it's good or bad inside. This is the highest list price to sales price ratio. Started at 1.8, sold for 2.75. Took 5 days to sell. Guys, I'm telling you, list it low, bring in the buyers, get it sold. Stop dicking around with, oh, my house is worth this much money. You're gonna see so much more magic when you list it low. Don't goof around with trying to get to where the market is. And that's just talking about lack. Think of a mindset of abundance. You're going to sell your house. Like this one right here. Come on. 0 beds, 1 bathroom. It's an outhouse, basically. 10 acres in Palo Alto on Page Mill Road. And it's long drive from Palo Alto. And people spend $2 million to get 10 acres. What are they going to do with it? We don't know. But there you go. Still a single family house. So the best buy, in my opinion, was this one right here. Montalindo Court in 95121, which is in the Silver Creek area. And guys, I'm telling you, don't mess around. This thing is, let's take a look inside, right? You can spend hundreds of thousands of dollars fixing up your house, right? It doesn't matter. List it low. You're going to attract the market and buyers will tell you what it's worth. The thing sold in 4 days. How many days? 5 days. 5 days. There's no goofing around. If you overprice the listing, it's called the kiss of death for a reason. It's going to sit you there for that. There you go. All right. And then those are the numbers right there. And you're seeing prices go up. Price reductions are staying nominal. It's funny. We're at 10%. At the end of the last year, we were at 20%. That's how bad we were hurting. We saw 25%, 26%. Right now we're at 10. That's not an average.